Today I'll tell you how I use songs and music to get rid of my limitations and inspire achievement, both professional and personal. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, my name is Nicola Ciccone and welcome to the Power of Music. Now, I am a singer-songwriter, as you know, from Montreal, Canada. I've been in the music business for over 26 years, and I've started this podcast a couple of months ago. It's a podcast where I marry two of my passions, my passion for music, but also my passion for psychology, a field that I've studied in about 25 years ago when I was doing my master's at McGill. And in this podcast, what I do is I look at the power of music, but not only the power to entertain. I believe that music has a greater power. It has the power to stimulate, to heal, to push, to bring together, and ultimately, it has the power to get rid of our limitations and help us achieve, both on a personal and a professional level. So it is the thematic of today's episode, how I use music to achieve, how I use music to get rid of my limitations. For this episode, I've decided to bring you with me outside. As you can see, I have a beautiful sky behind me, and I'm sitting in the middle of a track where I run every other day, and I train for my marathons. I run long distances here and sprints, and basically, I basically entertain another one of my passions, or you could say another one of my beautiful madnesses. It's one of the reasons, too, I've decided to come here. I've been working in the last couple of months on a new record that's called Beautiful Madness. And what I'm going to do in this episode and the upcoming episodes is basically explore that too. A beautiful madness, how I use this beautiful madness to help me gain a better quality of life. I believe that madness could be a force too, a positive force, if it's channeled. Of course, madness could be a debilitating force if it's not channeled, but if it is channeled, it can actually be something positive. So, the beautiful madness that I entertained about 10 years ago was to decide to sign up for a marathon. That was crazy. I am like a singer-songwriter. I spend most of my days writing songs. I spend most of my days connected to my soul, to my intellect, very, very little to my physical dimension. And that's why I decided to put myself in danger 10 years ago and try to explore more of the physical dimension of my personality. So I signed up to a marathon, but it was crazy. I had never trained, I had never ran these long distances, I had never participated in any of these track and field events. But I thought it was a great way to push myself, and I was convinced I was going to learn something doing it. So I signed up for a marathon. It was the Vancouver Marathon. And I started training at first 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers a day. Eventually, the distances got longer and my body got more tired, more fatigued, more fed up. So when I started becoming tired and started feeling pain, I was looking for ways to motivate myself, to push myself, and to basically endure. And as usual, I looked at the thing that I love the most doing, which is listening to music and doing music. So I started listening to music to motivate myself. But unlike most runners, when I run, I don't listen to hip hop songs or reggaeton songs, though I love those songs, those rhythmic songs. I listen to songwriters and mostly ballads. I listen to lyrics, emotional, inspirational lyrics that help me uplift my soul, my spirit, my mind. And therefore, when I run, I listen to great songwriters ranging from Dean Lewis to John Lennon, from Bob Dylan to Johnny Cash, and all the other great singer-songwriters of the last 50 years. The anecdote that I want to tell you is linked to the toughest marathon that I ever did in my life. It's linked to achievement, but it's also linked to beauty. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy story. About 7 years ago, I signed up for the Marathon of China, of the Wall of China. Now, this marathon is one of the 5 or 6 toughest marathons in the world because, on top of the distance, you also have to go up and down 30,000 steps. So, it's a marathon of great difficulty. It's very demanding. I signed up basically because I had lost my father and I needed something crazy to help me heal, to help me basically exercise the grief that I was feeling in my heart. So I signed up for something completely insane and crazy that I thought was beautiful, but it was pretty dangerous too. And for 4 months, for 4 long winter months in Canada, I trained. I used the mountain in the middle of the city called the Mont Royal. I would go up and down this mountain every other day in the ice, in the snow, basically to try to get my cardio to be strong enough to sustain during the marathon of the Wall of China. And at the beginning of May, I took a plane and I went to Beijing. I was stationed in an hotel in the downtown area of the city. And what was pretty amazing is because it's such a tough event, demanding marathon, there's only a few people that run it across the planet. We were 500 crazy runners. To my surprise, everyone that was participating in the event, except from me, was either in the infantry or in the Marines. Everybody was so muscular and so in shape. I mean, even the girls participating were twice my size. It was insane, but they were very friendly. And they each came up to me and they started introducing themselves, telling me their name and which infantry or which naval base they were based at. Some of them were in Okinawa in Japan, others in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, etc. When it came my turn, I said to them, well, my name is Nicola. I'm an artist and I'm from Canada. Everybody started laughing. They didn't believe me. They all said, oh, come on, you're probably based in Valcartier, you're in the infantry in Canada, right? And I would say, no, I'm an artist. But they didn't believe me. So for 2 days, we went around China. We went around Beijing mainly because the marathon was on day 3 of our arrival. And the last night of the visiting, we went to a karaoke. Now, obviously, karaokes are extremely famous in China. They're their number one social activity. And that night, each of the Marines went on stage and sang a song because they love to sing. It was pretty fun, but at the end of the evening, it was my turn to go on stage and to sing. Now, I didn't want to go, but they kind of insisted. So I went on stage and I decided to sing With or Without You from U2, which is one of my favorite bands. Everyone that was in the hall, all the Chinese locals, were really, really enjoying it, and they applauded very strongly, except for my Marines. When I came back to the table and I sat next to them, they all looked at me surprised and they said, you're really an artist. You're really a Canadian artist. Well, tomorrow on the Wall of China, Nicola, you're going to die. And they were right. I was going to die. But anyways, it was too late to back up. So we ended up on the Wall of China on the marathon and we started running. In the beginning, everything was going pretty smoothly. But when I hit the 24th kilometer, I froze because on top of the fatigue, one of the reasons I decided to sign up for this marathon is because of my vertigo. I have vertigo, so I'm scared of heights. And the Wall of China has elevation points that are over 1,000 meters high, so it's pretty high up there. I came to a point where I looked down, it was so high up that I just froze. I became immobile. I couldn't advance anymore. Now, to my great surprise, the Marines that I was with at the karaoke that night before, they all turned around and they came back to get me. I told them to continue their race. I was going to probably screw up and sabotage their time. And they responded, this marathon, Nicola, we finish it together or we do not finish it. So it inspired me and really touched my heart. And I started running with them. And like a miracle, I found the strength, the motivation, the courage to carry on. The last 10 kilometers to motivate the group, I decided to start singing. I started singing some 80 songs that I knew they would love. And we each were singing like, like a choir, these songs as we were running this crazy distance and this crazy event. And sure enough, we finished the race. But what I learned from this marathon was way more valuable than an achievement based on time or on distance. It was the achievement of sharing. It was the achievement of being part of a core, of a group. And mostly it made me realize that the process is always way more important than the result. What was amazing is the feeling that I had running with these 50 crazy Marines, all running together like a group, a force, a team. The result was secondary. So today, what I've decided to do is to share with you 3 songs that I use to get rid of my limitations and basically inspire achievement within myself. What I started doing in the last episode is I picked 3 songs from 3 different decades from my career, and basically I tell you how they encourage me to motivate myself. I chose 3 songs from 3 different decades, not to show you that I'm old, but basically to show you how the perspective of a songwriter can evolve through time. First song that I chose is a song that I released in 2008. It's called Ordinary Man. It's on my record Storyteller. It was a #1 hit the same year. And it's a song basically that deals with a man that is ordinary, but despite the fact that he's an everyday man, he succeeds in touching the extraordinary and he succeeds in pushing his life to another level, to go beyond basically his limitations. Second song I chose is a song called Je veux pas mourir avant d'être mort, which means in English, I don't want to die before dying. And basically it's a song that deals with urgency, the will of a man not to lose his curiosity, his thirst, his energy, and most of all his passion before he expires. Basically to stay young, to stay vibrant, to stay curious, despite the passing of time. The song was not a #1 hit, but it became a viral hit, an internet success. It has over 300,000 views, and it's one of my most famous songs on Spotify and on YouTube. The third song that I chose is on my new record, my upcoming record called Beautiful Madness. The song is called I Will Win. It's a song about resilience and redemption. It's a story of a man that faces not only his successes, but also his failures, also his disappointments, but decides not to let those disappointments stop him, chooses resilience over discouragement, chooses resilience over pessimism, and decides to keep going. So I'm going to let you listen to the 3 songs, and I'll see you on the other side of the block. I was just an ordinary man, living my life with an ordinary plan, waking up to my ordinary dreams, my ordinary fears, my ordinary tears. She was just an ordinary girl, stuck inside her ordinary world. Je veux pas mourir avant d'être mort.
J'ai trop à faire, j'ai trop à voir. Une vie c'est court pour faire le tour de chaque humain, de chaque amour, précieuse comme l'or et chaque seconde. Quand on rêve de changer le monde, mes rêves s'étendent tout comme la mer, à perte de vue et sans frontières. Je veux pas mourir avant d'être mort, n'avoir un cœur qu'après 5 heures, comme tous ces petits hommes en costume qui n'ont que l'argent qui les allume, qui prennent le train à chaque matin en maudissant leur quotidien, puis qui ont dans hâte qu'arrive le soir pour revenir à leur point de départ. Je veux vivre longtemps après ma mort, qu'on chante mes mots et mes accords, comme voir renaître dans mes enfants, que ma vie soit ma plus belle chanson. I must face the rain, I must build myself back from within, though there will be days when all seems vain. If I'm true to myself and the pain that I felt, I will win.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those of you that would like to hear the songs of today, with an additional 7 songs that I use to get rid of my limitations and inspire achievement, I've created a playlist for you guys that I call the Playlist of Achievement. I've placed it on my Spotify, but I've also placed a link of it in the description below this video, so you can click on it and you will be redirected to my Spotify. It's free. For those of you that would like to have more information on my conference, The Power of Music, on my upcoming album, Beautiful Madness, or on my shows, you can go on my site, nicolacicone.com. And for those of you that would like to hear the song I Will Win in its entirety, in addition to other songs from my repertoire, you can click on the link just right here.